Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Nice to see you. I'm really excited about this. So let me introduce Jen and Sari. They're also from the Spiritual View, and um, they're going to be helping me out a little bit here. Jen's going to keep track of what's any questions that you may have regarding maybe some of the astrology that I'll talk about a little bit at the beginning. And Sari will do a clearing before we start so we can start out with nice clean energy before we go forward. So I'm just going to give us a little bit of time here and we'll see if we have any more people come in. I know that this is recorded. We did have the full moon this morning. This energy is going to be lasting for the next couple days. And it's just nice to be able to get rid of this energy because we've had so much. Mercury is already squared Uranus, so that has come out. We've had earthquakes. I think I talked about that last Friday on the Spiritual View, that we'd be having more things. I have to give a shout out to Ed, because do you know what time it is in England right now?
It's in the middle of the night.
Yes, God bless you, Ed.
Yes,
I was like, I know Ed will show up. I know Ed will show
always.
up.
You must never sleep.
Yes, yes.
No, he's still looking for the magician and the hermit in the bar.
Yeah, yeah.
That was from last week.
Oh my goodness. Oh yes. So I do have to give a special shout out to Ed, because it's 1 a.m. there. Yeah. Just got home from the pub then, maybe, Ed. I'm teasing. So yeah. So welcome to everybody. And I see some new names here too. So lovely to see everybody. I know that we have Marcia. She's out there as well. So say hi to Marcia. Hey Ed, you have fans already. So yeah, so let's go ahead, and we're gonna get started here a little bit with the energy. So I want to talk a little bit about the astrology, and I'm sure that there's been crazy energy going on for everyone. But the most important thing I want to bring out at first is the fact that this is happening in the fixed signs, which would be, of course, you have Uranus is where Taurus is located at. You have, my brain is leaving me, Leo, which is where the moon is, and Aquarius, which is where the sun is. Those are fixed signs. So having this square with Uranus is very powerful and very much upheaval. And if you have anything anywhere close to that in the fixed signs, if you have any personal planets near there, it will very much affect you. And what we're going to look to is the answer might be in Scorpio, where you do that deeper self-reflection and everything, where you're looking at yourself from a deeply personal way as to what's going on and what is causing all this upheaval in your life, and what decisions you might have regarding that. There'll be different emotions, I believe, brought up by this Leo full moon. And the question is, why am I having this emotion? What trigger is it for me? And how do I release it? So all of this going forward is allowing us to recognize some of the triggers that are going to be coming up. This is Uranus, and we've had plenty of triggers from Mars being retrograde already. Family things, really strongly family things that are, yes, sorry, that are showing up.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to both Jen and Dawn, because I had a legal situation with the family estate that's been going on 5 years, and it went to court yesterday. And both Jen did a reading for me, and Dawn looked at the astrology, and basically gave me a lot of information, but a lot of comfort. And again, it has been resolved, and thank you guys so much. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out. Truths coming out, but also, things coming to a head. And I think all of us just need to, stay calm and not overreact. But it was hard not to. And thank you guys.
Yeah, and Uranus being about freedom and about truth, and Mercury was square Uranus just a day or so ago, and the sun will be square Uranus in the next day or two. So we're going to have that more energy. So I don't think all that earthquake situation is quite done yet. There's more with volcanoes and things like that. So that's where I wanted to start off with this energy. So I will go ahead and ask Sari to go ahead and do a clearing for us before we get started. We want to have nice, clean energy before we do any of our other releasing work.
Right. And do you want to let everyone know what they need for the
Oh,
ceremony?
thank you. Thank you for the reminder. So again, we're going to start with a candle and some kind of lighter. The paper that I asked you to bring, paper and pen, we are going to be burning the paper. So, or tearing it up if you can't burn it, because I understand in some circumstances you can't be lighting a fire in your house. So I do have a bowl of water here as well for us to, for me to use while I'm doing the burning part. So just so you're aware, those are the most important things that you have: the candle, you have a lighter, you have paper, and something to write with. And that will pretty much cover you for what you really truly need. And then just your imagination besides that. So that's all we need for right now.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm going to ask everyone just to get settled in their seats, their chairs, their comfy couches, wherever you are. Would ask you to close your eyes and dial it down. And we're going to take a couple of nice, deep cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you continue to breathe, just relax into your body and envision tonight that we are sitting, all of us, around this amazing fire. We are sitting in a circle of light, all holding hands, admiring the crackling sounds of the fire roaring in front of us, looking at the beautiful flame, smelling the smells of the wood as it burns. And that is the only sound that we hear. It is complete silence otherwise. And in this stillness, we feel the energy running between each of our hands as we are connected to the person on the left and the person on the right, as we sit around this beautiful roaring fire in the darkness. The skies above have a sky full of stars, all twinkling and speaking to us with love and light. We are connecting up to the heavens, to source energy, that beautiful white light that connects down to each of us and gently works its way through our chakras in this beautiful, swirling, warm light that fills us with this beautiful feeling of unconditional love for ourselves, as well as for the person on the left, the person on the right, and the collective. And Mother Gaia is waiting for that beautiful connection, and she feels the energy as that white light comes down to meet her energy, and she surrounds us with security and safety and warmth and guidance and groundedness. As above, so below, the energies are connected. All of our chakras are clearing. We're letting go of any negativity, any old energies, anything that is in our auric field. We are cleansing this through this beautiful light connected to heaven, all the way through to Mother Gaia. We are all connected as one. We are one. Feel the energy tingling through your hands and this beautiful energy that connects each of us as one community. We'll take one last deep breath in. Exhale out. And we are ready to go. Dawn, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much. And what I wanted to bring out is something that I pulled earlier in the week during our live, and it has been staying on my brain. It was from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And the card was broken open. This card. And the reason that this stuck with me, I believe, and it's a number 28 card, so it adds to a 10. So that's new beginnings, right? Endings and new beginnings. So here's the card. And so I took some of the reading from it, and I wanted to add my own personal thoughts to this because I feel like this is what your Uranus has done. So this is the beginning of what this card said. There are situations in life where you see the value of loss, grief, or a broken heart. Can you see the situation has broken you wide open, enabling an even greater capacity for love, compassion, empathy, and understanding? Release the desire to fall into self-absorption or self-pity. That is the lower vibration of Pisces. Love the you that is a result of being broken open. So in this full moon energy, we're getting this powerful T-square with Uranus, and that's going to be at 24 degrees. This could signal changes in the financial markets or the way we handle money electronically or other electronic things, earthquakes, volcanoes. But the thing that struck me is that that the Taurus energy is also earth energy. And with Uranus being there, I feel that we should look at it as a seed being broken open in order to grow. So, Uranus may have broken us open, but that was meant to be, even though we didn't know the cause of what that situation was. I really feel that these tower moments, or these Pluto moments that have been out there are meant to break us out of stuck energy. Sometimes it's very, very painful, but it's in order to get us back on the path that we originally intended. And I feel that this broken open just reminds me of that seed, right? You have to break open the seed in order for the plant to grow. It has to bust open. It has to start forming roots to seek out the soil. It has to start moving towards the sun to get nutrients that way. So it had to be broken open in order for things to start. And I think that is what this energy is, with this Uranus being in this T-square to the sun and the moon. And what's going to be happening, we're releasing the energy of what our emotions were regarding this breaking open: fear, anger, sadness. Look at what that emotion was and what was the trigger for that emotion, and work to clear that out. When you take memory, the world, when you take memory minus emotion is wisdom. And I feel like we are going to be going through, with Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, some very dark night of the soul moments. And I want to give you that information up front. I want you to know that we are going to be looking very, very deep, and we're also going to have probably more painful moments coming up. But we're going to be learning through a lot of this and what our true path is going to be. So look at what is going to be happening for you in the future when we start this new moon in Gemini. And I'm going to reference that a little bit quickly here, because that new moon in Gemini is the last new moon that we will have where Neptune is in Pisces. And it won't happen again for another 140 years. It's not going back. So Neptune will only go into Aries for a short time, and then it comes back to 29 degrees. It doesn't go back any farther than that, but it stays at 29 degrees to finish some last things up. And then it will move back into Aries, and then it's not coming back. And we won't have another new moon, or a full moon, I believe, for that matter, with Neptune in Pisces, where it has a co-rulership. So I think that is very important to realize when we're going to be setting intentions for this new moon in Pisces that's coming up, because it's very powerful and it's right before the Venus retrograde starts. So I wanted to to kind of, this is like a preparatory thing where we're clearing things out so we can then set new intentions without having anything bringing it, cleaning out the closet and bringing it with us. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and start the ceremony here. We're going to start by lighting our candle. So getting in that energy. This is always a good thing to signify the start of a ceremony, because it also signifies the end of the ceremony when it's time to blow it out. So we have our candle being lit. And I did want to show you, I show you broken open, but hidden on the bottom of that deck when I went looking for that card was Waking the Lion, which I found truly amazing because this being the Leo full moon. Also, there are some amazing things that are going to be coming up for Lionsgate. I did look up the new moon, and the new moon is on July 24th at like 2 degrees of Leo, but Lionsgate would occur after that. So that's very interesting energy that we'll be able to utilize the new moon in Leo right before Lionsgate. And have you two had coming up where you've had Lionsgate showing up in timing at all? Yeah. Me too. So I think there's so much powerful things that are going to be happening between now and then. And we're just kind of getting ready for that energy. But when this came out, I was like, no kidding, Waking the Lion. We're ready to start out. So what I want you to do, first of all, is we're going to think about, what does Leo mean? What are the things that symbolize Leo, and what are the kind of things that we're going to want to write down? So get your pen and paper handy. And think about what the moon in Leo is going to stand for. And I did take a little look. I do have a new moon book, but it's also about releasing. So what can you release from Leo? And it gives the examples. I want the habit of feeling superior or inferior totally lifted from me. So I think that's the kind of energy we should look at. Leo being about being out in front. A lot of us are going to be expected to be out in front. We're kind of that leadership people out there. So instead of saying, oh, don't step into that and just kind of, don't be out in front. Yes, you should be out in front because you're going to be the leader of some of this energy that's out there. And I really believe that strongly. So take away the fear that you have about stepping forward. Take away that worry about stepping forward or at least speaking up. Sometimes it can just be as simple as speaking with someone on a one-to-one basis with your speaking out. Right? People do one-on-one consults with each other, and that's very possible. And then I want the habit of bossing people around totally lifted from me. Okay, I'm a Cancer mom. I'm guilty of that, guilty as charged. So look at those things and things that it talks about releasing pride. I want self-defeating extravagance totally lifted from me. Cards. It's my big extravagance for myself. So I think looking at ways to have you come out of your shell and shine your light and open up your creativity by releasing those things that are blocking it. So I think those are good ideas for you to be writing down what you want to release as part of this Leo energy. Leo is about the inner child. It's about what you love. So what are blocking those things? Is it because you're afraid to speak out? I think bringing in the strength of Leo is what is needed, that illumination, that Uranus breaking free energy of that. So I just wanted to touch on those things. I want the self-isolating pride totally lifted from me. So again, that's also about, are you doing self-isolation? So I think those are the things I wanted to bring out to you. I wrote some things down for myself because I did this ahead of time, and normally I don't have time to write things. Release fear of being vulnerable. You know, a lot of times we're not vulnerable with other people. And that vulnerability is what makes us all human. So, and that's a hard one for me. I'm an Aquarius moon. I hide all that stuff. Yeah. Sorry, it's like, oh, these Aquarius. I know it's Marsha out there is an Aquarius sun. So yeah, we all have that guilty Aquarius thing of we tend to hide our emotions or compartmentalize them so that not very many people get to see them. Fear of starting a business venture, fear of speaking out when I know something that I have to say may sound harsh, but I have to speak my own truth. And I can do it in a way that brings honor to myself and sets boundaries. So again, when you're looking at what Uranus broke open for you, what fear you may have, what anger. Yeah, Jen.
Can I add a couple?
Oh, yes, please.
Fear of being the bad guy, and fear of people not liking you. I think that's been the one that's held me back the most. So, yeah.
Mine
Yes,
is fear of being judged, because people are doing a lot of that right now, it seems. Not you guys, but in the world in general. I think there's so much polarity. You know, people don't want to speak out because they fear being judged, and that's a challenge.
And I think too that Leo, that pride issue about you know, other people not recognizing the sovereignty of someone else, right? Which is where the Pluto and Virgo generation is getting that South Node kick in the pants, basically. So that's what I know that that's going to be also a lesson for all of us going forward, especially with Pluto in with Pluto and Virgo people with the South Node moving through there. And I know some people, I think Jen, you have a late degree Pluto in Virgo.
I don't remember my Pluto.
Okay. So I know with some of those, they've been hit by that already because the South Node has already gone over that. So that is about empowering that generation where we were raised to defer to that someone else's authority. So Leo can also be authority, and you not accepting that authority, releasing that authority that someone has over you. You're giving up your authority to someone else, and you need to pull it back. Just like the Devil card, where the strings are attached. The only way you can fix a Devil card problem is you have to fix it. You got yourself there usually, and you're the one that has to fix it now. So that is that energy that's coming forward. So has everybody had a chance to write some things down? Okay. So tear your piece of paper off. I have a very ugly regular notebook paper, and I would fold it up because we're going to take that little journey from her lovely little chairs. And I do want you to fold it up and then place it against your heart, because that heart-centered energy are where all the emotions come through. It's not the thinking part, it's the feeling part. And that is what Leo is about, is the emotions. So let's go ahead, and if everybody's ready, okay, we're going to close our eyes and feel the comfort of the chair around us. And we're sitting by that warm fire in our cabin. And again, there's a crackle of the fire. We want to take a nice slow inhale and slowly release that out. And now we know it is time to rise, and we're going to begin our journey to our ceremony. So we fold the paper up we have written out, and then we're going to put it in a pouch to carry along with us. We go to the door, put on our nice warm boots and warm coat before we go outside. As the door opens, we feel the cold air rush towards us, and we step outside onto the porch, and we look over snow-covered fields. We walk down the steps, and we start forward over this new snow, so white and clean, and we can occasionally see the tracks of animals that have been headed towards their own warm shelter. There's a softened crunch of snow as you walk forward. The path is only slightly covered as we are walking forward into the woods and heading further up the path. We see snow on different branches and on the evergreens. We eventually see more footsteps appear, and eventually the path widens, where there is a wide area of people who have come down before us. And now we can see the fire up ahead of us, our communal fire, and we enter into this large open area. And there's the fire reaching toward the skies and that full moon. We see a huge circle of people standing, and we go over and we start to greet people. Some people we've known for a long time. And then we see new faces that are smiling, and we welcome them. No one remains a stranger here in this community, in the woods. All are welcomed in to share peace and harmony. Selene, goddess of the full moon, Hecate, goddess of the new moon, and Artemis, goddess of the crescent moon, appear, and we begin to form a circle around our sacred fire. Selene wants you to take your paper out of your pouch and hold it to your heart. It is time to release into this paper all of the elements that you are letting go of in your life. Release fear of trying something new, fear to step out of your comfort zone, fear to speak your truth. Release the negative emotions that are holding you back and send those emotions out through the paper, and allow the magic of the moment to carry your burdens to the fire in the center. You see the flames climb higher as all of the energy is released to the fire. Uranus will be breaking things open for you during this cycle, not to hurt you, but to set you free and allow you to grow. Uranus symbolizes freedom. Excuse me. This is a purification with the sun and the moon. We are going to be getting ready for a new moon in Pisces before we explore ourselves more deeply through the retrogrades. It is time to clear out the old to make room for growth. So concentrate on all those emotions that you need to release that are holding you back, and watch that fire climb higher and higher, feeding off of all the negative emotions that have been sent towards it. It's releasing your limits. And now, as you're thinking about things, allow your inner child to shine through. No fear for this inner child. Embrace fun. Open up your creativity. Color outside the lines. Create your own pirate's map. The sun in Aquarius is embracing quirky and unusual. Breathe in and release slowly. There is a serene peace that is left. Your inner child feels joy at being released from all the rules that exist. The fire slowly returns to a steady glow of flames as we finish our release. And now we start to gaze around us, around the fire, and see everyone who has joined in. It is so good to be in communion with other people. For whoever is watching now and whoever will be watching this in the future, they are fellow travelers and friends. You leave with goodbyes and well wishes for everyone. You retrace your steps away from the gathering and walk down the path until your path narrows again and you see your own footsteps before you that you are now retracing to get back to home. You see warm lights from the window with a glimpse of the fireplace. You climb up the steps and enter the doorway to home again. Removing boots and coat, you gently relax back into the chair to allow time to settle your breathing. Let's take another deep breath in. Slowly release it out. Now, let's open our eyes and continue with our personal release of this energy. So now is the time that you can take your paper and you get the joy of being able to rip this up, which to me is soothing in and of itself. This is one of my favorite parts, is ripping up the paper. Give everybody time to do that. And because Mars is retrograde, we want to be very careful with the fire. Not to have burns.
I'm like a pyromaniac here.
I know. I was like thinking that earlier. I'm like, I have Mars in my first house. I'm more than likely to get burnt right here. So I'm moving my water bowl to right in front of me before I get anywhere near the flame, right? And what I would have you do is have your candle, if you can pick it up, and have it right over the bowl of water. And now you may light it. It's nice, especially when you realize that you're releasing fear, because so many people have the fear of being in public that they've carried with them since childhood, you know, being that person who, you know, doesn't want to have the biggest part in the play or is afraid of that energy. And my stuff is still burning while it's in the water. There we go. Okay. So this is the energy that we've wanted to release, and that is going to be, I'm going to dunk this a little further till it's all covered. Otherwise, it'll be smoking for days. We also want to give our thanks to the planets and to the asteroid goddesses that are the archetypes of that energy moving forward. We will be utilizing Venus and Mercury in the future as we move into this energy of Venus retrograde. And Venus has her own archetype with Pallas Athena about being the strategist. Pallas Athena today is in a sextile with Neptune. They're both at 28 degrees. So having a plan and then strategically deciding how you want to act upon that plan. Not acting yet, but acting in the future. So what I want to do now is encourage everyone to have their candle before them and just send a prayer of thankfulness and healing and joy from our inner child out to everyone who is watching or maybe watching this in the future. And you may blow out your candle. And thank you very much for joining. Do we have any questions that anybody might have before we close out or anything? It is always such fun to do this.
My energy, I just feel so calm and so just free. And I hope everyone is feeling the good vibes.
Yeah, I think that is part of, we've had so much strong energy and being able to release that fire energy. And I think us being able to do that in the future as we come up on more of these will be helpful. We might have to do a few extra things during Venus retrograde because it's so much faded energy, and it's going to be beautiful. But I wanted to forewarn everybody that it's going to be work. It is going to be work. And Mercury going retrograde means that it's going to be redoing paperwork, things like that, mixed messages, not getting things clear. So I just want people to be prepared for that, but not to have any fear, right, of it now. So we're just knowing that Uranus is there to help us with our freedom, and it's going to be very activated for everyone. So thank you again, everyone, for joining. It is always a pleasure to be a part of your lives. And we will see you on the Spiritual View on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We also do Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we have daily messages out for everyone. So you'll catch those every day on the channel. So love to all. And we will see you all again very, very soon. Good night.